Okay, but what about this? Those AI videos, I don't know if I sent you that one where like it was a Chinese dude, like in one face, it was like him in
Oh yeah.
normal mode, and then the other one's like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he moved his mouth, she would move her mouth, and it's like, dude, the internet's about to get crazy. Because like
Mm-hmm.
you can be catfished so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, like how do you know that this podcast right now is not AI
No,
generated?
it's already happening. It's already happening.
Freaky, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
No, but like real, like what
Yeah.
are we doing?
This is the issue. These are some of the issues that we can have with the internet or social media because you end up falling into certain categories, and then if that's all the videos that you're seeing, you think those are all real videos. Like the one with Elon Musk put up, the whole I'm a DEI hire. Like there was like a
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
yeah. There are people that will believe that's real.
but he didn't do that.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no. He
oh,
posed it, but that's an AI video.
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, no,
But there are people that will
dude,
believe it to be real.
dude, you're right. You're right, because that happened. I can't remember. I think it was like something I sent my sister, and she was like, "Oh, what do you think?" I was like, "No, that's." Oh, you know what it was? Oh, dude, you know what it was? It was, and you and I were like, "No, this is fake, bro." The video of Kanye West and
Oh
Elon
yeah,
Musk
yeah, yeah,
talking,
yeah.
and everyone was going off. Like Tara was like, "Oh my God, have you seen this video?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a fake video." She's like, "No, what? No, they're interviewing." I'm like, "Why would Elon Musk interview Kanye West, and why are they the same age?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh, right." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not even AI generated. That's just clever editing."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then I was like, "Bro, if this can fool people with clever editing,
Mm-hmm.
like what else can it do?"
Yeah.
It's trippy, bro. Like this is also why. So like Tara's been doing like a lot of podcasts now, which is kind of funny because we've been doing this podcast for a while. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, if you ever want to set that up, that'd be kind of cool. But she's like, no, I don't want to like. She's been like guests on them, but she doesn't want to do her own
Mm-hmm.
because the one she was on was like multicam, and I'm like, oh yeah, me and Vish could totally do that. Like the way it's set up, it's just like a deck, and then we use the same OBS software, but whatever. Um, I'm just saying like the DIY aspect of like this podcast is really cool. But so
Sure.
with that, the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I like podcasts, and I was telling her is like you can't lie about who you are for like an hour plus straight. And Joe Rogan said that too. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're really getting an unfiltered, especially with like ours is so raw that like obviously we're like managing some things we're saying because like I can't say everything
Sure.
online,
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but like there's no cuts. It's like when you're watching a
Mm-hmm.
except when I go to the bathroom, but there's no like, especially if you watch on YouTube, you'll see there's no cuts. If you have like two camera angles and somebody messes up, just cut to the other scene.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, or like, oh, dude, I actually don't want you to talk about that on the podcast. All right, cut to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even Joe Rogan has said that sometimes. He's like, if you want me to cut this part out, I can. And then the person be like, no, it's cool. And I'm like, oh, that's cool that they left it in. But then I'm like, what about the parts that they didn't leave in?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's doing multicam, and when you do multicam, you could easily hide things,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't multicam like because there's no multicam. If I cut something out during the editing process, you'll see that there's a clear jump in our like. Not, you might not hear it auditorily, but if you watch on YouTube, you're like, why did they just cut there?
Right.
Like, what did
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
hide? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think it's like this is the best platform that we can have for truth. Like 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 should we actually maybe it's just too much information. I don't know, like the how close are we to how much truth do you want to know? Do you want packaged truth or do you want like not do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
unfiltered,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's like, oh, it's too much raw data. Like the blunders. If I'm like somebody said like, oh, you say like too much, me. And I'm like, okay, I just said it again. But if I just started chopping those out, it's like, oh, that's more comfortable for you to hear. So you want more raw data or do you want like edited stuff?
Right, right, right. Sure.
Like I don't know.
No, I think people want I think
but then
people
okay,
want
right.
edited. People want edited.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And then that's what introduces like the whole AI-ness of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can just be fooled. That's why the podcast is like it's very hard to be fooled because you're just like letting it go.
Sure.
But until they hit that point where you're just like, AI, generate me a whole podcast that seems super real, and you're like, oh my God, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like any form of editing can easily be manipulated now, and it's like we will not know what's real online,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
which is kind of freaky. With the dude who like moved his mouth and then the woman moved her mouth, and I was like, ooh, that is some crazy like AI generation, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We could have a filter right now, and I could look like Brad Pitt as I'm talking to you.
Yeah. That's true.
We're getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe it's like we're hitting this point where nothing is real, like online. Like
Yeah.
they said that
I mean,
before.
yeah. That's yeah. We said that before. I think it's the
No, I mean, people have warned us about that before.
yeah.
Don't trust everything you see online. You're like, no, literally, you can't trust anything you see online now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. You think, or
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. As
we're hitting that
AI.
point, right?
Yeah.
God damn. What are we gonna do? Is it just the end of? Because if we rely so heavily on internet, and then you're like, oh, you can't trust anything you see online. You're like, okay, so what do I trust, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the real world. Okay, go out and meet people. Now
We have to go back to the traditional ways.
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Because
all right, I'll meet you outside, bro. Like, we'll
I
have this
think
conversation on the street.
it might happen. It might be like that. I think if it becomes where the world is just too fake or the internet's too fake, we don't know
Yeah.
what's real, then maybe we do end up going back to the old ways.
Right? No, but for real though, right?
Sure.
Like, hey man, like I really want to hear what you're saying right now. So you have to meet me at this Starbucks and we're gonna chat for like, you know what I mean? Like, oh dude, like we we couldn't rely on um this like because you and I talk consistently every week. Like we'll like text throughout the week, but we actually sit down and spend this time together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, well, I don't know if you're filtering me right now, bro. You know, like,
Yeah. Right.
oh, that is freaky. Because then you're like, I really can't trust it. I need to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna chat every week, like we gotta sit down and like I gotta make sure that you are who you are.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Freaky though, because
Yeah.
you're like, what kind of world are we building? This fake world. Maybe the metaverse is really where like maybe Mark Zuckerberg knew and it's like we have to go there.
Maybe that's where we're going. It's just how we. This is the steps that we're getting to into that position.
Yeah. No, but yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
That becomes normal and normal. Like what? I don't think we can just step into that world right now. But as the internets and more AI stuff come in, it just becomes the norm. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but yeah, for real though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we'll be sitting in like a virtual coffee house with our avatars on and just chatting. No, but like it's like that's where we're head. That's where we have to head, not where we're headed. That's where we have to head
Mm-hmm.
because because we rely on it so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by that is like especially with like life. Okay, so you and I now we used to live together. We don't live that far away from each other, like 30 minutes, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Or like even me to get to my parents' house, 30 minutes, right? But if you were like, hey man, let's go do something, I'd be like, all right, well, I gotta factor in the 30 minutes. We're gonna do something. And then it's gonna take me 30 minutes to get home. That's like 4 hours of my day. Okay. I have this other thing. I need to go grocery shopping. I have to like edit this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the convenience is there for online,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But there's also like potentials for faking it online. Like
Yeah.
so
There's the
that
risks of it. Yeah.
right?
Sure.
But it's like when people are like, "Oh, that's where we're headed." It's like, no, that's where we that's what we rely on. Because I rely on this to like You know what I'm trying to say?
It's convenience factor. That's what will win
Yeah,
over. Generally,
but
what would work? What's
it's
going to
like you
win?
can't stop it,
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say. It's like people are like, "Oh, we should just shut it down." It's like we use it so heavily, you don't even realize how heavily you use it.
Hmm.
Like Apple Pay, is everywhere using your credit cards. Like you're only looking at this one facet, which is like the digital space, but like that digital space is contingent on other things that we use in our daily lives, like GPS trackers and like all that stuff.
Hmm.
Convenience is what you are so
Yeah.
right. It's like time.
Yeah.
It just gives us like more time, and the cost is you don't know what's real.
Yeah. 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 There. I mean, yeah. There's the drawbacks,
Yeah.
but we just got to get smarter. But I don't know if we can get smarter
I
about
was
it.
I was real I swear I was really thinking about this one. I was like, what if they put like meta code inside each video so it lets you like when you edit a video, like a photo,
Hmm.
it has like metadata. So I can open up each like get information and then you can see when it was last edited.
Yeah.
Like a photo. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So like maybe that's what it'll be. Like the coders will be able to create some sort of code that reads the metadata on every video post. And if it senses any AI generation, it'll say this video is AI generated.
Hmm.
It'll give you a warning. Like maybe that's how it'll work. Like, I don't actually know.
It might be things like that. Yeah. But then I don't know if that's up to the individual companies that want to do that, or law that has to be passed in order to generate that
Force
kind
it.
of
Yeah,
information,
exactly.
right?
Totally.
Oh, things like that.
Be- Because on Instagram, you can tag for yourself. Like it says like, was this made by AI generation? And you can like click yes or no to give people an extra layer of like, hey, don't this is fake. You know
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
But it's like I have to opt into that. So
Right.
like
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
do I really want to opt in? Like it should almost be like automatic.
Yeah, maybe their trial is probably part of the trial. Do you want to opt into the trial kind of
Oh,
thing?
and then they're trying to figure out an algorithm that'll allow them to realize that it's
Yeah,
like
I think
if more people opt in, then it's like, okay, that's how the AI and they'll figure out a pattern, you're saying?
yeah, I think the only way that it learns is through that. It has to have so many um, trials or things to check. That's how the system would learn.
Yes. Yeah, totally. So yeah, okay. So maybe they are in the pilot phases of trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, I just don't know like what the world would be like if everything is AI and people don't know what's actually real. I don't know what the world would turn out to be, and
Bro,
right.
I don't know
So
for
I
real though, bro.
if I think if I don't I think if you don't want things to go into chaos, I think the companies would need to figure out a way that okay, here this stuff is AI. It's easy, like they can easily figure that out and have that listed in the thing or posted in the thing.